understand. So everyone excellent to stay actually my mother. But tell everybody comes to my minutes. And I don't need to request that. Oh, that's fine. Like on my way home, I'm actually talking. Oh, it's working. It's not a diamond. It's not.
Check.
My father's husband. I have gone to marriage. But for them, it's very difficult. I prefer this. I agree. I don't subscribe to her. It's yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got. Yeah.
Like a muffin?
No, okay. No way.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have a full house today. Can you? I wasn't sure. I was like, testing. Yeah, right. It's all good. It's all good. I'm being ignored. It's all good. No, I applaud all of the enthusiasm and relationships and energy. It's a good thing. I would never want to put a stop to that. I feel like we need to have like an annual party or something. If anybody has any ideas about that, I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll figure out when that should happen and how that should happen. But I feel like we've really become family in this room. So I think that would be a lot of fun to have a little party. Okay, so welcome to our May OAC Older Adult Collaborative of Stanislaus County from Modesto. We are in the month of May. Sunday is Mother's Day. How many mothers do we have in the room? Let's just applaud. You are not a mother. Let's just applaud all of these amazing mothers and women in our room. Women do so much. And don't worry, we will applaud the men next month. We are an equal opportunity group. You know what? And that counts because I used to have friends message me on Father's Day when I was a single mom. So I get it. Okay, been there, done that. Well, welcome to our OAC meeting. And if you are new to our group, and I know we have two new ladies here. If you are new to our group, we voted as a group that we're going to open our meetings with prayer. And so we're just going to take a moment to enter into prayer, and then we will go right into our meeting. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this amazing group of people that you've put together, the friendships, the energy, the collaboration. This was the vision, Father, and I just thank you for that. And today I just want to specifically ask you for your help. We are on a mission. We have a vision to serve our community, Lord, and to let everybody know about all of the amazing services that are available to them in Stanislaus County that they just may not know about. And so we just ask for your mighty hand to help us accomplish that goal, Father, because it's a good thing and it's a right thing. So we ask for your help in that area. And I just want to ask you to protect everybody in their coming and going today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so our mission is to proactively serve and educate each other in pursuit of synergistic solutions for seniors and their adult children. Our vision is to create a unified senior resource team to support each other and the community that we serve. And our values are integrity, synergy, service, and collaboration. And just like I just prayed about, we really have a vision to have our messaging get out to the general public. I was actually meeting with a seller client yesterday and her son-in-law, and I was sharing with them about my dedication to seniors and about this group, and they were like, oh, we had no idea. That's amazing. That's wonderful. So I shared with them our social media links. And so it's just those kinds of conversations that keep me inspired because she's a senior. She depends on her son-in-law to assist her and take her places and be there for important signings to make sure that, you know, she's being protected. And so it just keeps me inspired that what we are doing is valuable, does have importance, and there is a need out there for all of the services that we all provide. If you're new here today, we have a QR code on the flyer. Correct, Amy? It's on the flyer? Yes, thumbs up. On the flyer, we have a QR code. You could scan that, and that will link you.
Sorry, hold on, it's my fault.
Oh.
It's
Nope.
not June. They didn't get put on June. We had a new person. Didn't get on that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It's on the poster. It's on the poster out front. If you want to scan the QR code on the poster out front, it's always there. And that'll link you up to our social media links so that you can get connected with us and be active on our social media page. We are so excited to continue to see that growing. And I saw Serpa bring in our basket of business cards. If anybody has, oh, Amy's got it. If anybody has a business card, we're going to do a couple of raffle items when we're all done today. I know some of you run up when we're starting to do the raffle because you're so shy, but you can do it before so you don't forget. All right, so is anybody here today new? Raise it high and proud. Yes, 1, 2, 3. And Mary, you're new. Raise your hand. So 5. 5. Okay, welcome everybody. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We are getting to where we are almost packing the room. Wow, that's amazing. I'm so excited. All right, so well, that segues perfectly into our social media update. We, Yahoo, reached 500 on Facebook. Good job. Good job. So we are focused on hitting our goal of 600 by the end of 2025. We can do it. And our Instagram count is, we grew by 4 followers, so we're at 24. And I truly believe that we're going to continue to organically grow in those areas. So again, our presenter today is Liz. She is our volunteer for social media. So if you have any events that you want to share with her, just get that into her hands, and she'll do a great job of posting that content for us. So any announcements of any upcoming events that anybody wants to share with us today? Don't be shy. Come on, there we go.
There's a new behavioral health.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. I heard a lot of wows. Very good. Cool. Any other announcements? Okay. Okay. Perfect. All right. Oh, sorry. And then lastly, a reminder that if you present to our group, we're going to also be highlighting you on social media. So you get to highlight yourself this month. You're going to be like, so we are so excited to welcome our very own Liz Reese this morning. She's going to be presenting to us regarding, let me flip my page. Perfect. Thank you. She's going to be presenting to us about the unique and often overlooked options for helping seniors who desire to stay in their home and age in place. So let's all give her a warm welcome.
I'm so glad there's a microphone. This is like so exciting. Okay, let me get my clacker. Okay, so who here has heard of reverse mortgage? Who here thinks they're very stinky and heard lots of bad things about reverse mortgage? A couple of people, right? Yeah. So yeah, yeah, right. They almost like they need to rebrand, right? There's a lot of negative, and they did used to suck. So it's not like that's not part of the story, but fortunately, the government got involved a little bit more and has helped kind of take care of what maybe sucked. Lots of misunderstandings. So I have this workshop that I do for seniors. I'm going to go through it with you guys. I can click through some things, may not totally apply to this group, but I want you to think about it from the standpoint of these are your people that you're helping, right? And think about it from, um, like I'll say, I can't personally relate to what it feels like to be an 85-year-old woman whose husband just died. And now I'm like, what the crap am I going to do? And I might lose my house. And, like all of these, I don't personally have that feeling, but we work with people that have that, right? So I just want you to think about some of the things that they are experiencing and how a reverse mortgage might be the answer that as I don't know if you're business owners in here exactly, but you help um, client acquisition, right? That's our jobs. And so how can you help the company that you work for use this as a strategy to maybe help with that? Let's see. Okay. All right. So I'm going to click through some of this. Okay, so one of the things that we talk about with seniors, I want them to feel like they're smart and empowered by this decision. But I often ask them like, what keeps you up at night? So think about your own seniors, maybe yourself. What keeps you up at night? And we have all had a time in our lives when something kept us up at night financially, right? Like you could have been a college student and thought, how am I going to pay for college, right? Like we've all had that experience of maybe living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of things that seniors worry about outliving their savings. That's super common, right? The rising cost of healthcare costs. A lot of you in here, that's who you're helping. That's who you're serving. Home maintenance. Does anybody in here help seniors with like home maintenance things? You do? Yeah, that's great. Yeah. There's some charities around. I know I'm in Tracy. I know there's a charity that helps put in like different things that seniors need help with, even just to change a light, different things like that. Inflation, of course, this affects all of us. But for seniors in particular with their fixed incomes, that definitely makes a difference. The facts are 34% have no retirement savings at all. They're only living off of Social Security. I can't tell you how many people I have helped who all they have is that $2,500 maybe. I've helped this senior, she only had $500 a month. That was her income, $500. But she inherited her mom's house that was owned free and clear. And so we could help her strategize a reverse mortgage to set up more income for her. So and we'll get into what that looks like. Okay, so this workshop, I'm gonna click through this. Okay, well, let me introduce myself really quick. So my name is Liz Reese. I am a mortgage broker. I specialize in reverse mortgage, and I love helping seniors make a smart decision about this. I will say it is not for everybody. So my role is not to talk them into it. My role is to help them see the opportunity. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. It's my family. They're cute. I'll turn it back to you. Aww. Okay. So I want to talk about like what is a reverse mortgage? What can they do? How do people qualify for them? The pros and the cons, because there are definitely cons. Okay. And I think it's important to be real about what that looks like. I have some real scenarios, and if anybody has any questions, I'm here to help. How much time do I have also? 45 minutes of reverse mortgage lecturing. Okay, so what exactly is a reverse mortgage? So a reverse mortgage is a home loan on your house that allows you to borrow a portion of the equity. It's not all of the equity. If the senior's house is worth $1 million, they're not going to get $1 million. It's a loan based off of their age and the equity in their house. And then we can strategize that equity that they can get in a few different ways. They can get a lump sum of cash. We can set up a monthly income distribution, kind of like an annuity in a way. And there's a line of credit option. So maybe they don't need it now or yet, but it's something kind of like an emergency fund that they can access. And then when they access it, they don't have to make a payment on that mortgage. So that's a huge benefit of it, is it's allowing the senior to borrow against their house, take that equity, and not mess with their monthly expenses. Questions? Anybody have any questions? So to qualify for a reverse, you have to be at least 62 years old. Not both of you. If you have a senior that is 72, actually I'm helping someone right now, he's 82, his wife is 68. So I'm sorry, she's 61. They don't both have to be 62 is my point. The tricky part is the bank goes off of the youngest person's age to figure out how much money they get access to. So if your 82-year-old is married some like hot young 45-year-old, it's based off of the 45-year-old's age, because in theory that 82-year-old person is going to pass, and that 45-year-old could live there for the next 40 years and never make a house payment, and that house, the equity will start declining. It's really important for me to point this out, and I'm sorry I get kind of scattered. There is a mortgage payment. Like it is you're right now, all of you, I'm sure, have these forward mortgages where you make a payment, it pays your house off. Reverse mortgage, they get a bill every month. If they don't want to pay it, they don't have to, but that bill gets added to the balance of their mortgage. Makes sense? So that's why it's reverse. It eats up at your equity. So that 45-year-old could live in that house for the next 40, 50 years, not make a house payment, but when they die, there's going to be a balance on that mortgage. The house has to be your primary residence. It can't be a vacation home. It can't be a rental property. It has to be the house they live in. There has to be enough equity in the house to qualify. So if there's not, usually it's about, depending on the age, about 60% worth of equity. So that's a kind of a good ballpark figure. And then there is a financial assessment. It's not the same as like when you're buying a house and you have to prove income and debt and great credit scores and all that stuff. Like it's a little bit more relaxed, but there is still, you have to pay your taxes and insurance, and they have to be able to see that you can do that. So the payback on the reverse, the loan it's connected to the house, but it's connected to the person. So when, let's say your mom has a reverse mortgage, she passes away, that loan has to be paid off because it passes away with her. So that's either a refinance or you sell the house, pay the loan off. But really important to know, like these loans the house stays in the owner's name. It's not ever like, this is the misconception that you're giving your house to the bank. That's not how it works. Like the house is in the parent's name. They pay taxes and insurance. When they pass away, no matter what kind of loan you have to, technically speaking, you have to pay that loan off. This is the same thing with reverse. They're just a little more like you have a time frame and it has to be paid off. Let's see, it has to be kept in good condition is one of the rules, an FHA rule, and you have to stay current on the taxes, insurance if you have HOA. Those are all things like that's part of, I think, what's the scary part is you hear about a senior got their house foreclosed on. That sucks, but also there are rules. Like you have to pay your taxes and insurance, and if you don't, then one of the rules is your house can get foreclosed on. So it's really helpful when a family member is involved in that decision making, because usually the family member, the kids, are helping mom and dad make sure that their bills are paid, right? So sometimes they get very like there's that generation where it's none of their business, right? They don't want their kids involved, but I do try to always like, well, I mean, I respect your opinion. We'll do it how you want, but also they have to deal with it in the end. And I would hate for them to think like, oh, some crazy reverse mortgage lady talked my mom into this and now we're all screwed. And, like it's important to keep the kids involved. A few myths that I just want to talk about to cover. The lender will own my home. That's not true. There's a loan on your house. They're still on title. So that's a big one. There's a myth that they'll get access to all the equity. Some of this I have talked about. You're not going to get all of it because there has to be room, right? Like if somebody doesn't want to make their payment for the next 15 years, there has to be some equity in the house to build up. Like this isn't charity. The lender holding the loan isn't just giving you money, right? So there's got to be some room in that equity to grow. And the loan has to be paid back in 30 years or when I turn 100. So that is not true. If they live till they're 105 and they have a reverse mortgage, no big deal. It just is due when they pass away or when they move. So if they can't live in the house anymore, that loan has to get paid off. I have a client right now, their kids live with them. We're doing the reverse mortgage. If the parents pass away, those kids can't live there with that reverse mortgage. They have to refinance and get out of it or sell the house. To qualify, my home must be debt-free and paid off, free and clear. That's not true. What happens when we price it out, we take their age, we take their equity, and the bank says this is how much they can have. Let's just say it's $300,000. You got a $100,000 loan on the house, we pay that loan off, they get the rest. So it does not have to be free and clear. If I do a reverse mortgage, I'll leave nothing to my kids. That's could be true, and it's probably not true. So when we do our analysis, we can show them over time. We do a really conservative estimate on value appreciation over time, and we can show them exactly when you are at 93 years old, as long as there's not some crazy, you can't predict the future, right? But as long as things just go really conservatively steady, this is how much equity you'll have in your house to leave your kids. Because that's really important to a lot of people, right? That they want to leave their house to their kids. So we can show them that and help them just ease that, like feel more confident and comfortable. And honestly, most of the families that I talk to, their kids just want their parents to be comfortable or their mom to not worry. I helped a woman who was hospitalized because she like created this ulcer in her stomach because she had $15,000 left in her savings account and that was it. And she went $1,000 a month negative every month. Like that, her kids just wanted her to be healthy, like happy and healthy. And she'd spent all this time paying her house off, like use that equity as a way to live a more comfortable life. Um, and then the last one, if I do a reverse mortgage, I am stuck and can never sell or move. That's not true. I will say reverse mortgages are pretty expensive to get. They're FHA loans, so the government has a mortgage insurance premium, just like any FHA loan. So does reverse. They're expensive, but you can sell. It's just something to keep in mind. Like if you're going to sell your house in a year, don't get a reverse mortgage, or let's strategize some kind of a private reverse that's a little bit cheaper, and let's be smart about it, right? I did just help a senior who she passed away a month after finishing a reverse. I know, and I called the bank. I'm like, any chance they can get any refund? And it had just already been distributed to the government for the mortgage insurance premium. So I mean, that's a part of all of our jobs, right? It's part of our lives, but my point is you can sell it. You're not stuck in it. You can sell it and move anytime you want. Things you can do with a reverse mortgage. One, eliminate the house payment. This is a huge deal, especially if we're thinking about a senior that has maybe between the two of them, they're getting $3,000 a month in income. Their house payment is $1,700. Like that's like getting a raise, right? It's a tax-free raise essentially. So that's a huge deal. Still, you have to pay your taxes and insurance to beat that drum and the HOA, but eliminating that house payment's a huge deal. Cash back, set up a line of credit, the income. We did talk about that. I've had a senior get money to, they had to fix their roof. So $20,000, people just don't have that kind of money. So we got him the reverse, fixed his roof. He has this line of credit, and I would say almost every senior I talk to has $25,000 in credit card debt. So we can use some of that reverse to pay that off. I realize it's shifting funds, but it's shifting monthly expenses, and that's what we're really trying to help with. There are some cons, of course. The kids are not going to get as much money when they pass away in inheritance. I mean, some people don't care about that. Some people, it's really important. You still have to qualify for it. Not everybody qualifies. You don't have to have perfect credit, but depending on what's going on with your credit, it could impact how much you can get, if you can get any. Again, they're expensive. You have to live in the house. And you can face foreclosure, again, if you don't pay your taxes and insurance and HOA. The pros of getting a reverse, you can stay in your house longer. Statistically, people live longer when they live in their home. And part of this, like this woman that just passed away, we knew she was going to pass away in the next year to 2 years. And they had to figure out, she wanted to be home. They wanted her to be home. Nobody had $15,000 a month to have mom be at home. So that was the strategy around the reverse. But it allowed her to come home and pass away in her home. There's flexibility in the way you use your funds. You don't get kind of pigeonholed and like, you get this money and this is the only way you can use it. It's home equity, so it's tax-free for the client. There's a bigger picture to that, but they don't have to pay taxes on that income. Just a quick answer on that. This is the biggest deal for everybody who is the kids of the parents that have a reverse mortgage. It's a non-recourse loan, meaning if the house goes upside down, I had a client this past year, his house was upside down $300,000 when he passed away. The kids just gave it to the bank. The bank doesn't go after the assets of that house. They don't find other ways to get paid back. That's that's part of the risk that they take. That's part of the mortgage insurance premium that's paid, is it helps protect the bank just in case something like that happens. There's actuary tables and, you know, they kind of figure out like how long they think this person will live. But ultimately, if they live beyond that or the market crashes, something like that, they still, the kids do not get stuck with the bill. So let's see. And then we can create income. So there's a couple ways to do this, in my opinion. You can create income by you have this much available to you. We figure out how much you can get per month, and we just set that up, and you can get that per month. Another concept that we did with this woman was she had kind of a like janky rundown ADU in her backyard. It wasn't like something that she could rent unless she fixed it up. So we used the reverse to like fix up the ADU. So then she could rent that. And now she has income from that. And she doesn't have to make a house payment, you know, like all these great things. So I'll tell you a couple things. This will help the real estate agents in the room. How many are those are there? A couple of you. Okay, this will help you guys. Um, so this was John. He had a 2-story house. He was running out of money. His sweet wife was in a Tracy like memory care facility, and he needed to sell his house. And he had about 260,000. Like after he sold the house, paid off the house, right? And he has $260,000. Can he buy anything in our area for $260,000 where we want John to live? No. But what we were able to do, you can do a reverse mortgage with a purchase. And so we got John into a house that was $440,000 in a 55 and up community. So like the 1-story perfect size house close to where his wife's memory care was. And all he had to bring in because of the reverse mortgage structure with his age and the equity was $244,000. So we could get him into a better living situation with less money. He had a little bit left over so he could paint or something. Pay off his $25,000 in debt. Just kidding. But I mean, I'm actually not kidding. A lot of them have a lot of debt because they don't have enough money and they still have to get tires and food. And like, it's not even that they want to go on vacations and buy a timeshare. Like, it's just living expenses, right? So anyway, so that was a fun one. John's super cute. I had a woman that her mom, she wanted to keep her mom in her house for as long as she could. And so we did a reverse on her mom's house. She really drove that bus. Like she wanted to keep her mom there. Her mom had to sign all the papers and be at the counseling and stuff. But, you know, it was just a way for her to access funds so that she could keep her mom at home a little bit longer. And ultimately they got to where they ran out of cash, right? In-home health is super expensive, right? It's very expensive. But at the point that they had ran out of money, they just then sold that. They're selling the house. I think it's listed right now. And she has about $400,000 she can take to the next step of life. So, Michael, so his plan when he was 72 years old, no, he wasn't 72. He was in his 50s, and his retirement plan was to buy a house so that when he wanted to retire, he could turn it into a reverse mortgage and not have to make a payment anymore. So we eliminated a $1,200 house payment for him a month, and we got him $20,000 in cash, an $80,000 line of credit. So we really were able to help him strategize. Like, it's not just for people like desperate people. Like, this was part of his plan in his 50s when he bought his first house. This was the goal. And so it was great. And the last one, I'm going to this is a lot of, and it's small numbers, but basically just, and this is called an amortization table. We can show them like right here. This is what we show them when this person's 90. We can show them they've got $330,000 in equity. If they want to live in this house and not pay a house payment for, how old are they? 7 years, they still have money in their house if they want to sell it and move into something later on too. So you're really like, the point is you're just not stuck. And then this last one, this was the woman I was telling you about. She made herself sick. She was so worried about running out of money. And she was a single mom. She was independent, as all single moms are, because you have to be. And her kids lived close by, and they were super happy to help her and do what she, if she needed something fixed. But she didn't want to have to rely on her kids to do that. She felt guilty. And so this was a fun family because we just all met together and went over this stuff and what could be done. And so what we did for her, she owned her house free and clear. So she had tons of room, well, lots of options, but we've put $50,000 in her checking account just so that she just felt better. She just felt just comfort, like it was important. But then she has a $197,000 line of credit available. So she can use that to pay her taxes. She really wanted to take her kids on a trip to Alaska. Like, isn't that, I realize maybe using your home equity to go on a trip, that's not the ideal, but there's sometimes a different vision of like that memory that you can create. Like, that really is priceless. And for the kids, would inheritance be nice? Sure. But they wanted mom to not, worry herself sick and be happy. Let's see, we'll skip that. Oh, I think I'm going backwards. Oh, okay. So just as far as what's available, we did talk about this. It's based off of birthday, mortgage balance, value. Okay, so that's it, really. I mean, that's all I've got. If anybody has any questions or, yeah. Yeah, yes, yes, yeah. There's a couple ways. I mean, there's a little bit in the details about that, but yeah, it is possible that, especially if they're both over 62, that person can stay in that house till they pass away. So, and ultimately, this couple that I'm working with, that they have a pretty big age gap. He's in his 80s, she's in her 60s. Like, he's probably going to pass before she is, right? And he doesn't have to worry about where his wife's going to go after he passes. So there's a bit of a comfort thing. And honestly, for them, their house payment's 10 grand a month. Like, that's a big deal to get rid of that, right? So yeah, they're in like Danville, you know, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so that's a great question. So there's two types of reverse mortgages. One of them is an FHA reverse. That is, so you have to be 62. But there are some companies that offer private reverse mortgages, and you only have to be 55. So the difference between the two of those, the private ones are cheaper to get. You don't have that upfront mortgage insurance premium, but the interest rates are like twice as high. So they accumulate the debt faster. So really, like, for me, the woman that was going to live for, like, who we knew was passing, like she was coming home on hospice, I tried to talk them into doing this private one because I knew it would be cheaper, but they didn't want it. So ultimately, ultimately I can show them all the data and they choose what they want, right? But the private also is for jumbo. So like this one in Danville is a jumbo reverse mortgage. Their loan's 1.2 million. That's why their house payment's 10 grand a month. But yeah, so FHA won't do that high of a loan, but private money will. And you guys, they will go negative in their equity by like year 8. So if his wife lives the next 30 years, she's gonna have this $7 million loan on this house that's worth maybe 5, and the family doesn't get stuck with it. Like, I mean, I don't know why the banks do it, if I'm being honest, but they will. So Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So on the FHA rates, they're about 6.5%. So the reverse mortgage is an FHA loan. Yeah, it's an FHA. It's a neg am. I don't know if anybody remembers, like back in the day there were neg ams. That's what a reverse mortgage is. Like it's a negatively, yeah, you can refinance anytime you want. I've had people do that who like, my mom got a reverse. We actually want to keep the house, so can we refinance? We just refinance out of it. It's just a regular loan with an option to pay. So if you don't want to pay the balance the balance grows, but you can pay it off anytime, you can sell anytime. Yeah, you can make a payment. Like the one consequence is like sometimes we rely on our mortgage interest as like a tax deduction, right? When you're not paying the mortgage interest, you don't get the tax deduction anymore. So there are some people who strategize making a big interest payment so that they can use that as a deduction. I'm not an accountant, so I don't really understand that strategy exactly, but you know, leave that up to those guys to decide. But you can make a payment if you want. So you'll get a bill every month. If you want to pay it, you can, and that just means your house won't keep going negative. So yeah, yeah. You don't have to pay taxes on that money because it's equity. Like, has anybody ever taken cash out of your house? Yeah, you don't have to pay taxes on that cash out loan, right? So it's the same concept. Yeah. There's like, yeah, yeah, it really is true. Yeah. 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 That's absolutely true. And we've had some people that have, like, there's the people that need it for, like, they need it. We only have Social Security. Then there's the people that strategize with it and take the equity out and reinvest it in other ways. So, and we've had some of those people. I had a guy do that. He had a house in Concord and it was worth a lot. He took the cash out and bought a couple houses in Colorado, free and clear. He rents those out. He doesn't have to make a house payment on the one he just did a reverse mortgage on. So his monthly bills don't change. And it was just strategy. So it is smart. Yeah, Amy. Okay, so they're kind of. So the way that it starts is they will figure out, okay, you have this much equity available to you. If you want a monthly payment, we'll figure out how you can have a monthly payment. I mean, we can't say forever because you're not going to live forever, but they'll say you can get $500 a month for the rest of your life. Part of the mortgage insurance premium that you paid protects that. So if the market tanks and your house is now worth half of what it was, you'll still get that money every month. Um, Forever till they pass away. They have figured out with their, it's a conservative calculation, but how much it will be worth by the time they think you're going to die. So they've already kind of factored that in. But you can refinance a reverse mortgage. Like if the rates go down, or, and it's not even about that actually, because reverse mortgages are usually adjustable loans. If the equity goes up a lot, then you want to do a refinance on a reverse so that they can get more access to that equity. So you don't see that as much, but like that 2020 to 2022, the house prices popped a lot, right? Like that helped a ton of people qualify for reverse because of how big that equity jump was. Yeah. Yeah. There's no limit. The mortgage insurance premium does roll over to the next one, so they're not always super expensive, but like I mean, anticipate a reverse mortgage costing 18 to $25,000. Like that's just how much they are. Yeah. A disqualifier would be if they don't have enough equity in their house, or like if like I've had somebody have like really terrible credit, which doesn't mean that's not a no, but there's this if you have a house payment, you might have an impound account, right? Where it pays your taxes and insurance when you pay the bill. So reverse mortgage has an impound account, but it's fully funded. So if they think you're going to live for 20 years, they want to collect 20 years worth of property taxes. And so you have to have enough equity in the house to do that. So things like that would disqualify would be like if they're behind on their taxes, if they're behind on their homeowners association, like if they're already behind on their bills, the lender doesn't want to foreclose on that house, so they protect the owner by doing this impound account so that they can guarantee that the taxes and insurance will get paid. Because if they don't get paid, they get foreclosed on. So, right, yeah, and they have enough equity in it. Yeah. So they want to help seniors. Like the underwriters are never like, how can we deny this? Like they try to figure out how can we make this work for them. Yeah. Yeah. They have to pay off the loan balance. So whatever that is, like let's just say the house is worth $1 million and there's an $800,000 loan, they do have to pay that off. If it was worth $1 million and they owe 1.2 million, they don't have to pay that off. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And most kids inherit houses don't want to keep the house. Most of them want to sell statistically. So that might change a little bit as our housing environment changes, but yeah, so awesome. Oh, sure. If the home is paid off, like they've paid it off. Yeah, so all of that equity is theirs. So yeah, so that's actually ideal. I love it because there's lots of options when it's a free and clear house. Yeah, yeah. It just doesn't have to. I guess the misconception is that it has to be paid off, and it doesn't have to be paid off. But if it is, like that's even better because now we have a lot of choices. So yeah, good choice. Right. Yeah. Yeah. With a refinance. Yeah. 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 That's right. That's right. Sure. Right. Yeah. Because sometimes we work in a space where you have to be poor to qualify for your services, right? Yeah. This is not that. It's a strategy to get cash out on your house. So yeah, anybody, the more money you have, the better, really. It makes it way easier. So, but yeah, it's a good question. Anybody else? Thanks, you guys. It was fun to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, I left flyers on the table and my business cards. So if you guys have any questions, I realize it doesn't come up a lot, but if you can see how you can use it in your own company strategy you have seniors that can't pay for their in-home health, like this might be a way to make that work. And a lot of families might be nervous because of all the negative press about reverse mortgage, but I'm happy to just educate and have a discussion with them. And there's no pressure. Like I do all kinds of mortgages. I don't just do reverse mortgage. So I'm not like focused on how can I make money off of this. Like I really can see a big picture of it. So anyway, thank you.
Such good information. We so appreciate you presenting today, Liz. Okay, so let's do our raffle. We have what look to be like two really wonderful gifts. Oh, three. Thank you. Thank you. It looks like they're in the spirit of Mother's Day. So this is from Ollie Becker from Home Helpers. We've got a beautiful plant. I love how it says, I will survive. Oh, wait. That is real money. It's got a $2 bill. How cute. Okay. William Flores. Come get your $2 bill and your plant. Okay. Oh, let's grab the gift so I can tell everybody what it is. This is from Liz Reese, A Year of Self-Love, 52 intentions to help you fall deeper in love with yourself again. Oh, let's just all give ourselves a self hug. Oh, that's so cool. Yaritza. Yes, sorry. I murdered that. Sorry. All right. And then our last gift. So pretty from Community Hospice, a beautiful pamper yourself, love yourself basket. So good. All right. That one is thick. Is it double-sided? Karen Langley. Woohoo! The thickness paid off. Did you double? Did you like, I'm gonna put two cards together. So good. All right. So next month, we're going to be hearing from our very own Jeannie Duckworth on June 12th. Did you want to say anything about what you're going to be presenting next month, Jeannie? Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Excited. Are we going to learn how to dress wounds? Okay. 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 Wonderful. Okay, we're excited to hear about it. So next month, Thursday, June 12th, and don't forget we have this amazing table of resources. And thank you to Community Hospice for always hosting us and providing such a great environment. And we'll see everybody next month. Happy Mother's Day.